Hey Libra, welcome back to your July monthly reading. This is Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So if you are new, welcome. Please subscribe so you're first to know when new videos get published. And then if you're a return subby, thank you so much. You know I appreciate it. So again, this is your general monthly reading for July. We just got out of Mercury retrograde, so energy definitely feels a little bit lighter. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to be pulling a card for money, career, love, kind of overall communications, things to watch out for. Then a card for each week of July, okay? So let's see what's going on with Libra. Let's see, okay. Okay. Okay, Libra. Libra, this month we got, for kind of overall communication things to be aware of, we got the Four of Cups. Now, Four of Cups, it can certainly mean that you're being or have been offered things, but you're kind of bored or not interested, or you don't think that it's the right fit for you. Now, Cups can usually indicate emotional connection. So this certainly could be a relationship, or it's somebody that's offering, you know, an olive branch or an opportunity, something that maybe that once you did want, and now that it's come in your direction and being offered to you, you're just like, you know what, no thanks. There's blessings in disguise this month. That's what I'm hearing heavily. So for some of you, for example, let's say you've been really working toward a promotion or a position or a job title that you really thought at one point was going to be the best thing for you, that you wanted it was going to make you happy and whole and everything. Then you've kind of gone through these transformations, and certainly with the eclipses this past couple months and also this retrograde, a lot of things have been exiting, right? Making room for new things. So your perceptions have changed, your emotions have shifted. And a lot of times in the Four of Cups, it's like things that you thought at one point were going to make you happy no longer are doing that. And you've really kind of taken a different approach. What I will tell you is that, like I said, blessings are disguised this month. So kind of feel it out. Are you turning away things because it genuinely isn't something you're in alignment with anymore, or because it doesn't look the way it's supposed to, or come in the package or be presented, or it's not the right time? Because if it's just that and it's just a surface level situation, then take some time and actually feel your way through it, okay? Don't disregard just because something doesn't look right, okay? So overall, let me finish away this. Communication-wise for the Four of Cups, you need to be able to articulate if something is not in alignment and out of your vibration, because the people who are offering it to you, they might have had to work really hard behind the scenes to get something to you, what you've always wanted, and now that it's really changed in transition, you don't want to come off selfish or unappreciative, but it's just not something that you feel is going to make you happy anymore. So make sure you communicate that, okay? Now, money-wise, we got some pretty challenging energy around money. We got the Nine of Swords. Not the Four of Swords, Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords can indicate, obviously, it's air energy with the swords, so intellect, mental stress, kind of a heaviness. The Nine of Swords can indicate the dark night of the soul. So meaning for some of you, you're kind of going through some shadow work, or going through some pretty tough and challenging energy that has been very exhausting, stressful, tiring, mainly because this energy is really asking you to dive deep and look within, really within. You can fool a lot of people, but you can't fool yourself, right? So I feel like some of you are getting to that point where you've really had to go through and understand what makes you tick and what's making you frustrated, what's still lingering that is holding you back. The Nine of Swords also can indicate that you are, this is something that's been keeping you up, meaning lack of sleep, that you have been just kind of nervous and tired and almost a little bit anxious. Now, one thing I can tell you, the Nine is almost at a completion. So if you are going through this tough time around money, meaning that maybe you've made some poor investing decisions, or there's been a loss, meaning that, you know, maybe something that you thought was going to make you quite a bit of money, or you thought that your return on investment was going to be a lot more prevalent and quicker. It's not, and it's taking a much longer time to actually see your investment. I would say for money, this is not the time to spend based on emotion, based on you thinking that spending money it's gonna fix something. I feel like there could be some money issues around money that are more at the subconscious level, that maybe you do need a professional to kind of help you walk through that, or even a financial advisor to say, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not where I want to be, you know, but ultimately this is not the time to let money feel like it has a major control over you. You have to turn the tables and start to be in a power position and understand how money can work for you, okay? So in the career, Queen of Cups, strong water energy, Libra. So this can certainly indicate that for many of you, you're wanting a career or looking for opportunities, or you're finding opportunities in your current position where you work, whether you work for someone else or you're an entrepreneur, where you want to be able to have meaning, that you're allowed to put your creativity forth, that you feel valued, that you feel like there's gratification in what you're doing and helping people. For some of you, this is volunteer work, you know, that you're kind of doing extracurricular activities or outside of work activities that are really something that makes you feel good, that makes you feel harmonized, and that you also truly feel like you're moving the needle and helping and putting an impact out there. Queen of Cups is also reminding you that not everybody feels that way or approaches business that way. So it's not all about heart. You have to have a good balance between head and heart making decisions. The Queen of Cups can sometimes, I don't want to say it's problematic, but it certainly could end up that way, where you always are going based on your emotion, what you think is the right thing, which, not saying that that is wrong, but there could be other variables and things that are not in your control. So you do need to use kind of that in between head and heart, not just emotion. All right. But if you're at a point where you want to look for a change, the Queen of Cups is saying that you need to find something that you really feel alive and love to do, because the money will come, but do something that you feel good about every day, about getting up, and it doesn't feel like work. Okay. So love, interesting enough, we got the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Sagittarius and ultimately Jupiter, who's a ruler of growth, expansion, luck. Wheel of Fortune, you know, in the love zone, this is about the energy starting to evolve and move forward. Things are coming to an end, almost a natural close to things, and allowing new beginnings and new opportunities to come in. So as a couple, you could be looking at this as if you and your partner have overcome a lot of stuff, and you have now gotten to a point where you're like, you know what, we're stronger together than we are apart. We're stronger as a unit. Not only are you my lover, but you're my friend. We're support systems, and you really feel like there's nothing you can't accomplish, right? And this is really great because I do feel like there's new possibilities and new opportunities and experiences, even maybe some travel that could come up, where you feel alive because you get to share life with this wonderful person that you call a partner. And it's like everything with life, there's ups and downs. So for some of you, it's kind of like you understand the importance of when your partner is maybe, you know, going through a little bit of a harder point in their life, that you need to be there to be that support, and you're kind of on top, and it's like cyclical. So you understand the flow that you guys need to be there as support partners. For singles, now Wheel of Fortune certainly can mean that many of you, for singles, you're starting to get into the groove of, you know what, maybe I do want to get out there. Maybe I do want to start to date. Maybe I do want to put a little bit of extra effort into my look. I say that jokingly because I barely brushed my hair this morning. But the Wheel of Fortune is that there could be some opportunities and possibilities that are going to open up for you. I feel like for a lot of you, you've kind of held yourselves back, Libra, and you guys really like to be balanced. You enjoy being in a relationship, but it's also like you do want your freedom, you do want your independence, and you don't want someone to smother you, which is a very kind of common air sign trait. I do feel as a 10 that there's a lot of, I think you're approaching relationships in a different way, singles. And I think you're going to be a little bit more careful who you jump into a relationship with, that it has to be, you know, that you're not going to ignore red flags. You're really going to be focused on what they do, not so much what they say. But I feel like this has been a huge cycle, a learning lesson for a lot of you singles, where now you feel a little bit more confident that you can be like, I feel like I can approach this whole dating situation and scenario a whole different way. A lot of you have come to terms that you enjoy being single. You're totally fine. And that's very powerful. Okay. All right. First week for July. Now we're in the Northern Hemisphere. We're celebrating the 4th of July. So a lot of celebration and people and kind of, you know, activities. 10 of Wands. So 10 of Wands is number one, feeling like in this card, this is the after tarot. So it's almost like after the fact that he puts down all of his rods and wands off of his back and he's not carrying the weight of other people. He's putting action and focus on himself and putting him as a priority. And I think this is really important for this first week. I feel like a lot of you are, you know, dropping the stress and baggage and weight that has been put on you, Libra, because remember, you guys, as I said, you guys really, you control the scales, right? And if there's too much being swayed one way or the other, you're off balance. And that's really hard for a Libra. You like things to make sense. There's the checks and balances. So I feel this first week in July that you've probably just come to terms and realized that I don't need to carry all this stuff for other people. It's about me this time. And good for you. And if you haven't come to that conclusion, please do so quickly, because ultimately you're stunting your progress and growth by carrying other people's crap. And you're also stepping in the way of their lessons, okay? So this first week, I feel like you're unloading a lot in July and saying, look, I can only focus on these things. And they don't include your stuff. You got to figure your stuff out, okay? Second week. So this certainly can be a shakeup. Now, here's a couple of different things. The tarot card came out. Everyone poops their pants when they see the tarot card. Tarot card is kind of a mixture, in my opinion, of Mars, you know, energy, kind of this sudden abrupt change, and Uranus, because it is just kind of out of the blue. It can feel very drastic. You can feel very uncomfortable, chaotic. Tarot card usually comes in when we've ignored signs and synchronicities from the universe, and they're like, look, we're not messing around with you anymore. We need you over here doing these things, and you keep dragging your feet and choosing free will. So now we're forcing you. The Tower card, to me, for some of you, and I'm getting this a lot stronger than anything else, I feel like you're getting an epiphany. Kind of almost this spark this second week, like, I don't need to do other people's stuff. There's a lot of endings for you this first week, kind of even conclusions, and that you can't keep, you know, putting action behind other people's problems and trying to figure out their solutions. Second week, you get this epiphany to say, look, if I want to accomplish A, B, and C, then I need to put myself in a position where I can be successful. So I don't necessarily feel that, you know, the tarot card is not always, you know, it can be neutral in many ways. It can be surprises, and it can be actually positive. I don't get the impression that it's super negative. I do get that it's more of like you're coming to a conclusion that you've been in power all along and you just forgot that. Okay? But I think whatever happens, it's going to throw you for a loop, because it's kind of like this, like, holy shit. Why did I let myself go down the line that long? Why did I not start sooner? Don't beat yourself up. Just get going and start moving forward. Now, I think, like I just said about the whole beating yourself up this third week, never like seeing the Seven of Swords. It's always a pain in the ass energy. But I feel like there's a couple things. One, this can be self-sabotage, certainly. So don't self-sabotage yourself because you've kind of come to this realization that there needs to be some change and there needs to be a shift in direction. Also, if you verbalize this and you kind of share your position, you're starting to take a stance, and you're not going to do other people's, you know, really their work that they need to focus on, whether it's internal work. There's going to be people who are going to try to talk you out of it. You know, anytime somebody gets told no and they realize that they're not going to get benefited from someone else's labor or efforts or energy, it bothers them, and they'll try to, you know, undermine you. So all I can tell you is that watch for other people who you push back on and you set up healthy boundaries and they don't like it. Red flag. Or it's your self-sabotage that you're kind of, you know, you're focusing on what's happened in the past rather than, look, hey, I've come to terms with it. Lesson learned. Let's move on. Okay? 4th week. This is going to be big. Don't get stuck in the past. 5 of Cups. Things might not have worked out for a reason. Redirection is protection. Keep that in mind. So stop worrying about the things that haven't, you know, panned out or haven't come to, you know, manifestation, or you've seen growth. A lot of these things, sometimes the things that we want most are not the best things for us, okay? So Libra, try to cut that off and stop going into this downward mental spiral about things that have not benefited. You know, you have opportunities. You just have to be open and willing to receive, okay? So get your head out of your butt this month. This is not the time to, you know, woe is me. Learn the lesson. Understand that you can change tactics and direction anytime. The power has always been with you, and start to make things happen. Okay, Libra? Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, follow me on TikTok and Instagram because I push content there, and you can get free readings. And have a wonderful month, and I'll talk to you soon.